I greet all of you today. Today is Wednesday. It is the ninth day of September. Today is the feast of one of the great saints in our Catholic tradition, Peter Claver. The year is 1610, and Peter Claver, a Jesuit, is in South America. And what he does is that he welcomes slave ships arriving from West Africa, transporting slaves to be sold in South America. Many of those people who made that journey from West Africa to South America, namely Colombia, never did make it. It was a very treacherous journey, to say the least. But yet, at the same time, those who did make it were very ill and what have you. Peter Claver did nurse them to health. But more important, Peter Claver was one who sought to bring justice into a new arena altogether. These slaves were treated inhumanely. They were recognized not as human beings, but rather animals. Therefore, it was Peter Claver who decided to all the more commit his life to making known the dignity of the human person. This dehumanization that was occurring was unacceptable. It was not consistent, obviously, with the gospel. And this is exactly what Peter Claver sought to do, was to be a slave to the slaves. It is well documented that he baptized over 300,000 people during his ministry in Colombia. And that is really noteworthy because it speaks of a great commitment to the very, very important piece that we all treasure in social justice, and that is the dignity of the human person. Each and every person is made in the image and the likeness of God. Two, as we see today, it is Peter Claver who is the patron of African Americans. As we battle again racism in our nation, we want to again seek to rid the world of all discrimination and prejudice, that we see each and every person as a child of God, a son, a daughter of God, and lift him and her up in such a way that each of their own potentials are realized in the way that God intended them to be realized. We have a great challenge before us, and yet the way that we begin to put together our response is the way that ideally we're going to maybe witness to the fact that we are all called to be instruments and ministers of justice and peace. Let us again come to that commitment, and let us pray that Peter Claver intercede for all of us, providing us with the confidence and the courage to go forth into the world and to make known God's kingdom by proclaiming the good news. I invite you to learn more about Peter Claver. His commitment is truly noteworthy. His commitment really stands apart. And that is the kind of commitment I believe that we need from anybody and everybody today, especially we as Catholic Christians. We have a marvelous opportunity to connect with the social teaching of the church, which is provided for us, and to live that social teaching in such a way that the world is transformed. Let us commit our lives to that way. Let us commit our lives to the gospel. Enjoy your day. Please continue to pray for an end to all racism in our world and in our lives. And let us go forth all the more eager to serve the Lord and one another. Take care.